God's chosen one. Everyone was shocked to discover that you didn't merely appear on this screen by chance. Your presence here is a divine appointment. An orchestrated moment meant to alter everything you thought you knew about struggle, transformation, and destiny. Right now, as you read these words, feel that undeniable stirring in your spirit that confirms you were uniquely chosen. This isn't just another message. It's a revelation custom tailored for you, a call to rise above every challenge and step boldly into the fullness of God's plan. If you feel that sacred pull deep within your heart, then I urge you, right now, comment 777 below as your declaration that you are stepping into a sacred alignment with God, that you trust in His plan, and that you are ready to embrace the transformation ahead. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why your journey has been so distinct? Why, even in the midst of seemingly insurmountable challenges, you keep moving forward while others whisper doubts and try to predict your fall? What if every setback you experienced wasn't there to hold you back, but was actually a divine preparation, a carefully designed refinement process to mold you into the person you were always meant to become? Consider this. The very obstacles that have made your path look rugged and uncertain, those moments of heartbreak, betrayal, or unexpected silence, have been paving the way for an extraordinary breakthrough. Could it be that those tears you once shed were not a sign of weakness, but a secret currency in a grander economy of spiritual growth? Think about the mighty figures of faith whose lives were transformed by trials. Remember Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, and sold into slavery, yet whose hardships eventually positioned him to hold a place of great authority and influence. His journey is summed up powerfully in Genesis, where he declared, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Reflect on that for a moment. Every bitter moment in his life was a stepping stone toward a destiny he could scarcely have imagined. What if your struggles mirror his, acting as divine tools designed to not only test, but to refine you? And what about Moses? He spent years wandering in the wilderness, tending sheep, in a season many would label as wasted time. But that very wilderness was a transformative arena, a place where God nurtured his humility, patience, and absolute reliance on divine guidance. Moses may have felt stuck, but in truth, he was being meticulously prepared to lead a nation from bondage to freedom. Could it be that your own seasons of waiting, of apparent stagnation, are in fact the sacred intervals where God is equipping you for your calling, even when the world around you seems to be moving on without you? Let your mind dwell on this revolutionary possibility. Every challenge you faced, every moment when you felt like you were about to break, was a deliberate part of God's refining fire. When circumstances tempt you to give up, ask yourself, how can I cling even more tightly to God's promises? When every argument and obstacle in the world seems designed to make you falter, are you ready to stand firm and let your unwavering faith shine through? Do you remember the story of Job, a man whose faith was tested in ways that defied all earthly understanding? Job's friends could not fathom why such immense suffering had befallen him. But through it all, he held fast to his belief in God's greater purpose. His faith was refined, not broken, and in the end, his blessings were multiplied beyond measure. Does this inspire you to see your own trials as the crucible in which your strength is being formed? Now, I invite you once again to engage with this message and affirm your readiness. Right now, in this very moment, comment 777 below as a bold declaration that you are stepping into a sacred connection with God's plan, a public statement of your readiness to embrace all that He has prepared. Let this action be a symbol of your trust, a tangible sign that you are not just an observer of your destiny, but an active participant in a divine revolution that challenges deception and illuminates truth. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to turn every challenge into a stepping stone? To see obstacles not as burdens, but as opportunities, divine setups meant to reveal your strength? Every time you felt the weight of the world pressing down on you, did you ever sense that it was not a curse, but a crucial part of your evolution? What if the very difficulties that once seemed insurmountable are exactly what shape you into a leader for a new era? A beacon of hope for all who are lost in darkness? How will you respond when the darkness tries to claim you? When every setback appears to be an end rather than a beginning? Is your heart prepared to transform pain into power and despair into determination? In these moments of introspection, allow the transformative truths of Scripture to echo in your soul. The Bible teaches us that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Isaiah 54 verse 17. And it assures us that we are more than conquerors through Him who loves us. Romans 8 verse 37. When you reflect on these promises, can you feel them infusing you with a revolutionary certainty? Each moment of personal trial is not simply an isolated event. It is intricately woven into the fabric of a divine plan that is far greater than you can imagine. Picture for a moment the scene of a great battle, not with swords and shields of human making, but with the celestial armament of God's truth. Just like David, with his humble sling and stone, defeated the giant Goliath through sheer faith and clarity, you, too, stand with a weapon far more potent than any earthly tool: divine purpose. Isn't it astonishing to consider that while others may demand grand armies or elaborate strategies, you need only the power of your spirit, unwavering, focused, and directed by God, to overcome the greatest challenges? Now, as you let these ideas settle within your soul, ask yourself, what sets you apart from the countless others who never make it past their trials? Have you not noticed that while many are overwhelmed by adversity, you keep rising, even when the odds seem painfully insurmountable? Do you realize that your ability to push forward, to remain calm in the storm, is the very quality that brings divine favor? How often have you felt that surge of inexplicable strength, a force that seems to rise from deep within, that tells you were born for something far greater than mediocrity? Can you feel that inner fire, that unwavering conviction that no matter what, you will rise again? Your journey, marked by each setback and victory alike, is a testament to the magnificence of God's design. Every struggle you endure, every time you overcome a challenge, you are redefined. You are not being broken. You are being built, shaped into a vessel that can carry an unimaginable blessing. And these blessings, though sometimes hidden in the midst of hardship, are being prepared for you in ways that will one day astonish even you. Does that truth ignite a spark of hope and determination in your heart? Imagine, for a moment, the power of your legacy. Imagine that every trial you have faced has been a stepping stone, a piece of a divine mosaic that together creates the most brilliant portrait of the person you are becoming. When you look back, you will not see the pain as a series of unfortunate events, but as necessary moments of refinement that have prepared you for the extraordinary destiny that lies ahead. What if those very trials are what make your light shine so brightly that they force everyone who once doubted you to stand in awe of your unwavering strength? How powerful would that realization be? Isn't it a revolutionary thought that every difficulty you encounter is a divine setup for your triumph? Now, I want to bring you back to the present moment. This is your call to action. You are at the cusp of a life-altering breakthrough, a transformative point where nothing will remain the same. Do you feel that profound stirring in your spirit? Do you sense that the winds of change are blowing and that you, as God's chosen one, are meant to harness that divine energy to rise above every limitation? If so, then act now. Right here, right now. Proclaim your readiness and faith by commenting 777 below. Let that number be your battle cry, your public affirmation that you are stepping into your destiny. What does it mean to be truly ready? It means embracing the moment with a full heart, knowing that every tear, every hardship is but a precursor to the glory that awaits. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to flourish even in the midst of chaos, turning every bitter experience into a stepping stone for success? Isn't it because they recognized that every challenge was part of a divine plan, a plan to shape them into someone uniquely equipped to overcome even the greatest obstacles? And now, as you stand on the threshold of this new era, what will you do? Will you allow fear to chain you? Or will you embrace the divine process that transforms struggle into triumph? Consider the examples of those who went before you. Joseph endured betrayal and hardship, yet his spirit was refined and his destiny fulfilled in ways that were beyond his wildest dreams. Moses was forged in the solitude of the wilderness and called to lead with unwavering courage. Even Jesus, the ultimate example of divine strength, emerged from 40 days in the wilderness with his mission affirmed and his purpose made clear. Their stories share a common thread. They all faced tests that were non-negotiable, and through them, their true greatness was revealed. Now, ask yourself, what could these stories mean for your own journey? How might God be using your challenges to prepare you for a destiny even more magnificent than you can imagine? There is a revolutionary power in understanding that every trial, every moment of uncertainty, is a vital piece of the grand design that God has prepared for you. The struggles you have faced are not random acts of misfortune. They are the very refining process that purifies and equips you. Do you realize that when darkness looms, your inner light burns all the brighter? When you hold fast to your faith despite the odds, you become a living testament to the power of divine transformation. Isn't that something worth celebrating? Don't you want the world to know that you're not defined by your hardships, but by the incredible strength that emerges as a result? Now let me ask, what if everything you've experienced, every setback, every moment of despair, was actually a divine appointment? What if the pain you felt was simply the precursor to a breakthrough that will forever change your life? Can you see that each obstacle is carefully placed to reveal the depths of your resilience and the height of your potential? And as you stand at this pivotal moment, are you ready to let go of fear and step boldly into the promise of transformation? Your story is not one of defeat. It is a saga of triumph, resilience, and divine purpose. The world may have doubted you, underestimated you, or even tried to script your downfall, but God has been rewriting your narrative in ways that none could have foreseen. Now, every whisper of doubt, every prediction of your failure, only serves to highlight the unstoppable force that you are. How liberating is it to know that what once seemed to be your greatest challenges are, in fact, the very means by which you're being prepared for the blessings of tomorrow? As you reflect on these truths, consider the immense power of your inner light. That light, which has carried you through the darkest of storms and shone even when all seemed lost, is the true source of your strength. It is the undeniable evidence that you were chosen by God to rise, to defy the odds, and to illuminate a path for others who are trapped in the shadows of doubt. Can you feel that power surging within you right now? Does it not ignite a fierce desire to prove to the world, and more importantly, to yourself, that you are destined for greatness? Imagine the impact of your transformation on those around you. Picture a community of souls, each awakened by the revelation of your journey, stepping into their own divine purpose because they saw your example. When you break free from the chains of limitation, you don't just transform your own life. You become a catalyst for change, inspiring others to rise above their circumstances and embrace the freedom that comes with divine alignment. Wouldn't that be a legacy worth leaving behind? What if your courage could spark a revolution? A movement where every soul dares to trust in the unseen power of God, knowing that even in the darkest times, His light will always prevail. Now, let's bring this back to a simple call to action. Right this moment, I invite you to take a brave step. If you feel this message deep in your soul, if you know that you are meant for something far greater than the struggles of everyday life, then let your voice be heard. Comment 777 below as your declaration that you are stepping into a sacred alignment with God's plan, a bold statement of your readiness to embrace the divine transformation that awaits. Make that comment not as a mere gesture, but as a public proclamation of your trust, your courage, and your unwavering faith. Ask yourself, what does it truly mean for you to be chosen? Is it to live a life of quiet mediocrity, or is it to rise, to challenge the status quo, and to break free from the limitations imposed by a world steeped in deception? Can you picture the freedom and joy that come from knowing that every test you face is merely a stepping stone towards an incredible destiny? And when you look back one day, will you see these trials as necessary parts of a miraculous journey? A journey that not only transformed you, but also paved the way for a new era of hope, courage, and divine power? The message is clear. Your challenges, the very ones that once seemed insurmountable, are the divine tools by which you are being refined. They're the fire that purifies you, the pressure that shapes you, and the process through which your true potential is revealed. Have you ever marveled at how gold, though tarnished by impurities, is made pure through the intense heat of the furnace? Your life is being refined in much the same way. And every moment of hardship is preparing you to carry the weight of the blessings that God has destined for you. Let the words of Scripture resonate in your heart. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. 1 Peter 1 verse 7. In these words, do you not find the promise of transformation? The assurance that every tear, every trial, is an investment in an eternal glory that far outweighs any temporary pain? Reflect on this truth and let it empower you to face each challenge with renewed vigor and unshakable resolve. Your journey is a testament to the power of divine transformation, a story that will shock those who doubted you and inspire those who once believed that your struggles would define you. Remember the words of Isaiah, "No weapon forged against you shall prosper." Isaiah 54 verse 17. How powerful is that promise? It affirms that no matter what challenges, forces of darkness, or voices of doubt arise against you, they will never prevail because you are shielded by a power far beyond human understanding. So, chosen one, as you stand at the threshold of this final test, I challenge you to not only endure, but to thrive. Do you feel the revolutionary surge of transformation coursing through you? Can you sense the impending breakthrough that will elevate you to new heights of purpose and fulfillment? Now is the time to cast aside all doubt and step boldly into the future that God has promised. Right now, before you continue on your path, make your stance known. Comment 777 below as your profound declaration that you are stepping into this sacred alignment, that you trust fully in the divine plan unfolding in your life. Let that act be a public testament of your readiness, a resounding cry that echoes far beyond the digital realm, reaching into the very corridors of heaven. Have you ever wondered what your legacy will be when the world looks back on this era? Will they remember you as someone who succumbed to the pressures of life? Or will they celebrate you as a revolutionary spirit who defied every expectation and transformed every challenge into a triumph of faith? What impact do you want to leave on this world? A legacy of fear and limitation, or a legacy of hope, courage, and relentless pursuit of truth? In every whisper of doubt, every shadow of adversity, there lies a divine opportunity, a chance for you to demonstrate your inner strength and radiant resilience. The journey ahead may be filled with trials, but remember that each test is meticulously designed by God to refine you, to prepare you to carry out the extraordinary purpose He has set before you. Can you feel that power within you? The same power that carried Joseph from the depths of despair to the pinnacle of influence, or that sustained Moses throughout the long wilderness journey. That is the divine power, the unstoppable force which now courses through you. Take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of your journey. Every struggle, every hardship, every single moment of pain has been a part of a greater design, a process that is transforming you into a leader, a beacon of unyielding faith, and a shining example of the promise of God's eternal glory. Have you ever paused to realize that your trials are not just tests, but are the very stepping stones toward a future rich with promise? The world may continue to cast shadows of doubt, but your light, fueled by faith and sustained by divine purpose, will shine through, dispelling every illusion and revealing the truth that you were always meant to be. As you conclude this powerful message, remember this: your destiny is not bound by the limitations others try to impose on you, nor is it confined by the failures of the past. Instead, it is an ever-unfolding reality, a journey of continuous growth, perseverance, and transformation. With each step you take, you break free from the chains of doubt and emerge stronger, more resolute, and ready to claim the blessings that await. Your inner fire, your unwavering spirit, is the divine force that will guide you through every challenge, transforming trials into triumphs and resistance into radiant success. Now, my dear chosen one, I leave you with this final call. Stand up and let your spirit roar with the power of divine transformation. Right now, comment 777 below as your declaration that you are stepping fully into this sacred alliance with God, a declaration that you trust His plan, and that you are ready to transform every struggle into a stepping stone towards greatness. May your light shine so brightly that it dispels all darkness, and may your journey of faith inspire others to rise and join you in this unstoppable movement of truth and renewal. You were never meant to be confined by the narrow expectations of this world. You were chosen to defy limitations, to rise above doubt, and to build a legacy that will echo through eternity. Embrace this final test as the beginning of an extraordinary chapter in your life, a chapter marked by divine purpose, unyielding determination, and a trust in God that will never falter. Step forward now with courage, knowing that every challenge you face is but a prelude to the victory that awaits. Comment 777 below as your bold proclamation that you are ready, that you trust in the divine plan, and that you will never allow anyone or anything to dim the brilliant light of your spirit. The world is about to witness the power of a soul that refuses to be broken, a soul that rises, transforms, and ultimately fulfills the destiny set before it by the Almighty. Rise up, chosen one. Embrace your destiny. Defy every expectation, and let your light shine for all to see. God's plan for you is monumental, and nothing will stand in your way. Your journey of transformation has just begun, and the best is yet to come.